and on Breakfast Daily on Citi TV at 9:30 a.m. Monday through Thursday. Let's build to last through resilient foundations in 2024. Don't miss out. Join us on this transformative journey, the Effective Living series, where practical information meets resilient living. The Effective Living series 2024 is powered by Citi TV and 97.3 Citi FM and is proudly sponsored by Enterprise Insurance at 100, celebrating our legacy, securing your future, and Hallmark Freight and Logistics Ghana Limited.
The city is alive on 97.3.
City 97.3. Accra.
Oh! Welcome. Bienvenue. Bienvenidos. Tonight. La. If the studio doesn't go up in flames, then I don't know what's gonna happen. Are you ready? This is Sports Panorama live on Citi 97.3 FM. My name is Nathan Kwao, sitting in for Benjamin Nketia. Dear Lord, mon Dieu, Dios mío, it will be fire tonight. 0549 986 996. 0549 986 996. That is the text and WhatsApp number. And it is on nights like this that the muses told me many years ago to choose the theme song. We are about to go hard. 0549 986 996. That is the text, WhatsApp, and Telegram number. You are listening to us live. And of course on YouTube, we'll be sharing the link in a bit. So grab a seat. Like I say, if you are standing, sit. If you are sitting, hold the chair tight. Because it's about to be a roller coaster ride. As for today, I brought the hit squad. I brought the potions master. Ghana's response to Professor Snape. The rabbi. The mixer. Coach Christopher Nimley is in the building. And we brought the lovely yet tough-talking Veronica Comey. She rarely appears on radio, so when she appears, you know that Charlie, it will be wild. Then, of course, we've been joined by my Ghanaian brother who was on a séjour, as we say in French, in La Côte d'Ivoire. Mon frère revenu, Benjamin communicators in the building. Oh Lord, and we are live. Show proudly brought to us by Game Park Games and Bell Beverages, producers of the world famous Bell Puka. If you don't have Bell Puka in your fridge, you are missing out. The ginseng is what you need. You need a proper African recharge. You need Bell Puka. Let's get cracking. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. How are we doing? I'm so happy. I'm excited.
It's good to see you.
It feels good to be on this side.
Yeah, you know.
It feels good to be here.
Let me know you are a child of God. It at all times,
yes,
you are empowered to make emphatic statements.
Of course.
Especially when you use the name of God to make that statement.
Thank you.
Remember I said something here?
You said it.
I said the God of Ghana will make sure the Black Stars will not go beyond the group stage.
And the God of Ghana is a fair God.
He's a fair God.
He's a just God.
He's a just God.
Okay.
Oye moko ni achole Yesu. Oye moko ni achole Yesu. Oye moko ni achole Yesu. Shile no e bafi. No more in shade. When I'm speaking on this platform, I speak without fear.
Or favor.
Or favor.
Thank you.
Because I know deep down within myself that I'm a prayerful person. And once I step out there to decree and declare, and I use the name of Christ in those things, nobody cross my path.
That's true. Even the scripture says, it says, whatever it is that is bound here.
Oh, no more. No more. Come on.
It's bound in heavenly places.
Amen and amen.
No more.
Jehovah Zebaoth.
Let's get cracking.
Walake Ghana mo mfefe klalo. Bia mo, bia tuat amo, bia sana botwe. Oh, no bale wobae. Mwele be no waka wokpa ye bie. Wo hwe ni lale ba chwe. Wo ba hwe ni Yesu lale denche. Atwa mahie fe be ne twale feda. Atwa mahie fe be ne twale feda. Waka yo wa bono no fe. Ghana fo eji wo yi. Ganyo kron jimi. Wo fe no ye atu na mi mane mi woje. Wo pin kokoko. Ni moko. Ka male ke osheko ba nye wo hi. Na ke hi ahwehwe mo ba ni na wo. Na kamo wo kekele. Wo ka bi na ni wo ba. Wo ba yu anokwale. Nketia teba. No ni te no ke ni te no fe nketia ba ni ma bi fa. Mi mbashidi ya biye. Mi yen source of info. When I'm Belinda, ni ole o jaw of fefe. Ona ke hinso ya biye. Ni bodenche. Okay. Bodenche obiyo. Ni o sale. Ke hangme ne gbine. E ba gbe wo ye. Belenche ba fe gbe ami. Wo ke ji ogbelai. Jehovah. Wo ke nyema wo hie. Wo ba dwi anokwale. Ni ke dwen lojibo. Alo ye dream no John. Ka be program na. Citi Sports Panorama ba ke gbe ona ho e. Ye Yesu ba mi. Omo no chake ko e. Be ona ko chake. She ye Yesu ba mi. Omo no ke ofi akoba chake e. Oba chake ye konim yele wo. Ene keni bi pi. Wo ke shi dambo. Ye Yesu ba mi. Amen.
Amen. And we have interesting news for our listeners. Now, because we like you so much, tonight we were giving an extra 30 minutes. So we are not leaving here until 9 p.m. Oh! I've been thinking about this since Monday. I don't even know where to begin. Ben, let me start off with Ben. Ben is the visitor, quote unquote. He just landed from Côte d'Ivoire. Mon frère.
What's good?
Comment tu vas?
No matter what you're French.
Oh, of course. I mean, you see, Nathan is a very tricky and slippery guy. I know him. Listen.
Welcome back, by the way.
Thank you very much. Côte d'Ivoire is an interesting place.
Yeah.
Aside the AFCON itself, it always opens your eyes to everything else. I'd say, first of all, I saw a lot of things. You know, social media would be like, hey, what city is better? Abidjan or Accra? What this is that? What is that? I tell you for a fact that I didn't experience Doomsday. I experienced Doomsday once.
I see. When was this?
While I was there for, I think it was on the 7th or 8th day, and it lasted for like 30 minutes.
I see.
While I was there. Power was pretty stable. You know, these things, it could be because there was an AFCON. Hard to tell. Abidjan, I definitely think, is a prettier place than Accra. Ivorians are definitely more disciplined than Ghanaians.
Hey!
No, I'll tell you that for a fact.
I see.
Their discipline, you see, their discipline stretches to everything they do. If it is discipline in keeping their land borders, that is what they do. If it is discipline in supporting their national team, that's what they do. If it is discipline in chilling more than Ghanaians, that's what they do. In everything they do, they are actually very regimented, and I like that about them. I think there are a lot of things we can learn from the Ivorians. And basically, my thinking coming here was teach me culture. Basically, like, what's the culture of Ghanaian football? What's the culture of our football journey? What has it been like so far? Have we lost it? Are we still in it? Are we on the right path? I've heard a lot of my colleagues talk in the run-up to coming here. A lot of people are upset. I think that I've passed that stage of being upset about our national team. Yeah, I really have. And it's unfortunately sad, but that's what our leaders have brought us. I think, like we've always maintained, everything starts and stops with leadership. Even I always use us as a sports desk. If there's ever any query to be answered, it always comes to either myself or yourself. It's always like the leaders will have to answer to it. And so I've been very appalled by the level of leadership we've been served. And I saw at close quarters what other people did with their leadership. And this dovetails back into what I was saying about Ivorians. So after the drubbing at the
4-0.
Yep. After the drubbing at the Alassane Ouattara Stadium, look, I have never seen that type of atmosphere before. That stadium is state of the art. It was freshly built for the AFCON. Ivorians were passionate. Look, I have never seen Ghanaians support the Black Stars in that manner before. Never in my life. I'm telling you, like the level of song, the level of passion. I've been in stadia since at least I was 9 years old.
Not even 2 years leading after the World Cup.
Listen, Ghanaians are passionate about the national team, but there's ways of expressing the passion that I don't think we've reached yet. Like, I've never heard us in song from minute 1 to about minute 60 or 70, like 1 hour, until we know that the ship is really going down. That's how bad it was. And when this happened, look, I stepped outside briefly. You know what was going to happen? They were waiting, right, to celebrate their victory and then spill on to celebrate Ghana's victory. Football is cruel. Football is very cruel. When the game ended, their journalists, they were in a more subdued mood than we were.
So the Ivorian journalists, you mean? Okay.
They were more in a more subdued mood than we. The fans, somebody was laying on the ground. I saw a couple of them. They lay on the ground for close to 15 minutes. They couldn't get up. And as soon as the defeat happened, the CAF security that was available called for reinforcement to the stadium. So if you got out of the perimeter, you would be shocked at the amount of security. I couldn't take pictures. You'd have been shocked at the amount of security. But this speaks about preparedness. I mean, if you know the history of Cote d'Ivoire politically, you can situate this.
Oh yeah, of course.
In how they feel about these things. So
they've been through
what started as minor crowd trouble when their national team was losing by 4-0. Some fans obviously unhappy, was quickly quashed by the security services available. Everybody in town was quiet. The town was extremely tense that night, but everybody went to sleep. There was no misbehavior. Now, fast forward and bring it to the national team. Are you aware? Are you Nathan aware that Keto Kriku has hired more coaches than he has AFCON wins? I'm not making this up. If you think I'm making this up, call your researchers. You are the research people. We'll wait for an answer. We'll be here 9 p.m. We'll be here. Are you aware that Mark Addo has led more committees than we have AFCON wins?
He's led more committees than we've had AFCON wins.
Yes, since he
matches at the AFCON. Okay.
No, since he got involved with the Black Stars.
Okay.
World Cup committee chairman, AFCON 2021 committee chairman. Now he's the search committee chairman. He was search committee chairman for Milo. He's had a 4th one. So 4. In the last 3 major tournaments we've been to, the Kurt administration have won 1 match internationally. 1. And that was at the World Cup.
1 match?
1. They've won 1. The 2 AFCONs we've been to, we haven't won a single match. In the World Cup, we won 1 match. True or false? If I'm lying, please check.
Okay,
and correct.
Yeah, the World Cup, we won 1 match.
Great. But we are here because we have leaders who don't care. And like I said, I'm not angry about the national team anymore. I think I think we need to leave their national team for them. Like, as a country, as journalists, as Ghanaians generally, we need to leave their national team for them because the national team does not belong to us. And they are showing it to us in blue, red, black, and white. They are showing it to us with no form of remorse. Because tell me why a country that left here with players dressed as kings managed to finish a tournament where we topped our last worst performance, but they didn't show up as a collective. Nobody apologized as a collective, not the FA president. I've seen the ministry's apology. It looks like they took the old statement and retouched it and sent out the flyer.
The new statement is longer than the old one. This one is 2 pages.
You see,
the one from 2 years ago is 1 page.
You see, these are the things that I talk about. It's the tone of what you are saying. I don't have time to even get into it because it does not present a roadmap for how Ghana football will be rebuilt because our football is dead. I'll even get to that later. But for Kurt and his leadership, I think that they need to bow their heads down in shame. The optics, the scheming has brought nothing. And you see, when you want to walk in arrogance, you walk with results. Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi. If they tell you their backstories, they are no angels. Florentino Perez. These are people who have done stuff. You understand? Danny Jordan, they have done stuff. Like, they have stuff to hold on to. If you talk about even a Gianni Infantino, he will tell you that in his time, a country paid over 50 billion to host a World Cup. They have done stuff. They can show you hardcore evidence of what they have done. What have this FA done? And what have the people of Ghana done to warrant this level of disrespect? I don't understand. Like, I've been left confused. And I'll share personal stories with you about where we've gone and how bad down we've gone the road of no culture. There's literally no culture in our national team. Zero culture. And that's why we don't have a single win. The only times, right, when as journalists we start getting attention is when we start talking like this. You see them, they're in the background, they are sending messages to their interests because their interests are being trampled on. Why is he talking like that on radio? Why are you not getting Ghana AFCON wins? Why do you think that we should give you the power to even hire a coach when you have not won a single match at an AFCON? You have not overseen a single win. And do you people understand how serious this is? Ghana. So you are saying that we haven't won an AFCON game in how long? In the last 2 editions, 6 matches played, no win. So 2023, we went to Cameroon. Yep. We lost to Morocco. Yep. 1-0. Yep. Drew 1-1 with Gabon. Yep. Then we lost 3-2 to Comoros. That's 3 games. That's 1 point. 1 point. Yeah. In 1 point from 9. Yeah. Yes. Then a few days ago, we lost 2-1 to Cape Verde. Drew 2-2. 2-2 with Egypt. Yeah. Then another 2-2 with Mozambique. Yeah. That's 2 points. So 2 points. So we've gone from 1 point out of a to 2 points. So out of a possible 18 points, the Black Stars have 3. Nathan, you have eaten more meals today than Keto Kreku's administration have AFCON wins. Hey! Check the facts. If I'm lying, tell me I'm lying. Is that poor? Listen, you cannot walk around with this level. No, wait, hold on. So you're saying from 2022 or from 2021 till 2023, the Black Stars have won 1 match at a tournament. Why is it hard for you to come? It's now that I'm actually remembering that there was a World Cup sandwich between the other AFCON and 1 match. 1 match. In 3 international tournaments. 1 match. And let me tell you what I have. Stephen Appiah's Black Stars. Yeah. Michael Essie's Black Stars. We went from making semi-final berths, I think, 4 times on the bounce or 5 times on the bounce. We played the semis 08. Yep. 2010. Yep. 2012. Tell me. 2013. 2015. And you know what's ironic? 2017. So the last semi-final we played was 2017. Then we did the final. Yeah, we did the final in 2015 as well. 2015. And even then, we were not satisfied as a people. Even then, our FAs, sometimes they apologize, sometimes they give players jeeps. I'll not even get there. All I'm saying is, our culture is missing. As for Black Stars and culture, it is missing. Right now, it is a full-blown money machine.
Cash cow.
The Black Stars, listen, Nathan, the Black Stars are a pampered child because the Black Stars is the only brand in this country that gets everything it wants. If the Black Stars say that they want A, they get A. In fact, the only time in recent memory where the Black Stars haven't gotten what they want is when they said they were going to camp in South Africa. You saw that game we played against Egypt?
Mm-hmm.
It was because our reputation was on the line. And those are the only times. And those are the only times when our leaders know that it's about to go to the dogs. And so they will do everything to save the situation. Look, can you imagine us going to have spent that kind of money in South Africa to come and win no game at an AFCON? Look, the FA should understand that. How many coaches have they hired? They've hired 5 coaches, I believe, in that short span of time. 5 coaches.
5.
I believe.
5 coaches. CK.
They hired CK Akono. They hired Milo. They hired Otoado. I think they hired Chris. No, they'll say they didn't hire Chris.
They hired him.
But it is under their administration. So administratively, they hired Chris Hughton. So I'd say 4. Now, each of these coaches has been abysmal. I have heard, when I was coming here, yesterday I heard in the news that a roadmap has been put out to hire a new coach.
21-day roadmap.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding? Look, how can you decide to go and hire a coach? You have not seen the technical report of the tournament. You have not received any form of government report on what they think about the tournament. The Parliamentary Select Committee have not presented anything on the tournament. But you have already put together a roadmap spearheaded by the guy
who brought us Bitter Milo, Adam.
Look, and I'm saying that for McAdoo, I have nothing against him. But I am surprised. I thought, hey, if people have favor, somebody pour that kind of oil on my head. Because how do you go to a World Cup, fail as the management committee head or the Black Stars entourage head? You go to an AFCON, do same. Be put in charge of the committee to hire Milo. Milo knew that he was finished. I'm sure Milo was having a laugh when Ghana called him about coming to do the job. And then he called his old friend.
Yes, sir.
He called his old friend to come and do a translator's job because the gold mine was open again. They couldn't believe it. When their financial window with Ghana had closed, Ghana decided down the line that Milo, who his own country's people had no use for, should be coming to coach the national team of Ghana again. That person who brought us that atrocity has been given the mandate to hire us another coach. What have we done? No, I'm very serious. What have we done as people? Because this FA, they've not even apologized to Algeria, right? Mm-hmm. Algeria, who won the AFCON in 2019. They have put out a statement after their elimination.
Let me just read.
You should read that statement for us.
This is Walid Sadi, president of the Algerian Football Federation. He says, quote, "We apologize to the fans of the national team and the Algerian people. We regret the way the Warriors presented themselves in the AFCON, exiting in the first round. We made every effort and provided ideal conditions for our players to shine and achieve the goal. We apologize once again to the millions of Algerians who love their national team and will undoubtedly continue to support it in future competitions." And so they go on. And he says, Sadi urged the unity of efforts from everyone, especially the loyal fans, emphasizing their continued support for the national team. So those are...
And again, I think the last one, he again went on to apologize.
Yes, he said, we renew our apologies to the fans of the national team.
I have never heard a renewal of apology before.
He says, we promise to correct...
It in only romantic
I have never heard a renewal of apology.
He says, we promise to correct the mistakes of the past with one goal.
That's right.
To restore our position regionally and globally.
Thank you, Nathan. Thank you very much for that.
That is an association that respects its stakeholders.
Thank you.
It's an association that understands that the supporters are your primary stakeholders.
That's right.
It's an organization that knows that they hold the national team in trust for the people.
Yeah.
And the national team is not for an individual.
Yeah.
Or you can't just do whatever it takes.
Yeah.
We fund the national team.
Exactly.
When we speak to power, they say that, oh, you are a hater. But you see, the national team is for us. When I say that I have done 47 countries and about 15 World Cups in between all the national teams, I say so with pride because everything football has given me.
That's right.
When the game is thriving, it reflects in my pockets.
That is true.
And for the ordinary people on the street, the least they can get is the happiness that they will let them sleep well at night. When you come to power, our taxes fund the Black Stars. So you cannot come from an AFCON and say that you do not owe us an apology. You do not need anybody to tell you that. I remember after the last exit, Keto Kreku, in one of his interviews, said, when he was asked if you apologize, so I said, every Ghanaian has the right to voice their opinion about the Black Star. That was arrogance. It was arrogance.
At its peak.
And when you are that arrogant, you want to match it with something. But zero.
Ghana Premier League.
But I do not blame them. I keep saying that for a nation or for, as a development student, for anybody to progress in anything, you should have a plan. You should have a policy. What is our policy? It's our policy just to make sure that we thrive on the euphoria of the Black Stars without looking at exactly what will make us succeed. We can have a huge conversation about all the things we need to do to be a football nation. If you ever thought we were, we haven't been in a very long time. We haven't been because which football nation will not win an AFCON in 40 years? In my lifetime, we haven't won the Nations Cup. Which football team back to back will go and exit at tournaments like that? Even this qualifiers. We
Three
were
competitions
just
and not think there's anything wrong.
Three competitions.
Yes, I think there is absolutely nothing wrong. So you should walk into town and decide to set up a committee to look for a coach.
And you see, where the insult is for me, Veronica, sorry to cut you, is where you say that you go as a royal family, right? You are kings and queens. Kings, in that sense. You get eliminated and only about 10 or 12 of the players show up. I see Inaki Williams in action for Bilbao
the next day, and he scores.
He's literally on the pitch and about to score. Excuse me, but that is a no-no from a team or a country that is serious. Nathan, look, and this is where I think political power comes in. I feel like politicians have enabled the Black Stars.
Of course.
They have allowed the Black Stars to cultivate habits that I think will become a canker that will not be able to solve 100 years from now. We'll be talking, or our kids will be talking, and we still wouldn't have one enough.
You talk about politicians pampering the Black Stars. Let me read you some numbers. Now, I curled this from the Honorable Sami Okujo to our Black Horse post.
Brilliant.
He put up.
Brilliant.
Now, listeners, if you are listening to me, note these numbers down very carefully. Now, I quote his statement. He says, documents submitted to Parliament by Ghana's Youth and Sports Ministry a few weeks ago have shed light on a number of these Black Stars expenditure items. 1. 2023 AFCON qualifier, Ghana versus Angola, home and away. We spent 7.4 million cedis. 2023 AFCON qualifier, Ghana versus Madagascar. We spent 8.3 million cedis.
For a broke nation.
2023 AFCON qualifier, Ghana versus the Central African Republic, home and away. We spent 3.4 million cedis. April to June 2023 salaries of the coach and signing on fees, 3.3 million cedis. The official ministerial documents also reveal that it cost the taxpayer a significant 5.3 million cedis to airlift supporters of the Black Stars to the 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar. This is an MP who is saying it's not me. The 5 items alone amount to a colossal 27.96 million.
First round exit.
Tell me that this is not a team that is wallowing in luxury.
First round exit.
You know what?
27.9 million cedis.
You know what blows me? Let me just wrap it up. At the Black Stars, right? We get used to the luxuries that the elite national teams are wallowing in, but we do not produce the same level of results. We don't hold our leaders to the same level of accountability. what I am saying, as far as Keto Kreku's administration is concerned, that there are things that have happened that I have seen at close quarters at this tournament that have appalled me. The environment created for Chris Hughton to work, I have been shocked by it, to the point where Hanchos next to the president think that they can threaten the national team coach. I think that is absolutely appalling. And then there's a charade to make it look like, oh, it's just an angry fan that's making it happen. These things are unfortunate. Look, I was privy to another incident that happened right outside the door of the mix zone. I won't even talk about it.
Oh, no,
Maybe you should.
I won't even know. You see, some things are security reasons. So I don't talk about it.
Because if Keto Kreku security can threaten our national team coach, Nanado, His Excellency, should go and invade the GFA head office and clear everybody for that, so that FIFA will ban Ghana.
But it's happening.
So that FIFA will ban Ghana.
Hold on.
And will put our house in order.
Calm down.
Keto Kreku bo beno fene.
It's happening. Hold on.
And you will put together your bodyguards, your security people, your fans to go and threaten our national team coach.
Let me tell you,
a government coach.
Hold on. Let me tell you what happens when you do that. When players know, right, that the FA president has a machinery in place, and it's something we do in our Ghana Premier League, when they want to fire a coach and they don't know how to do it and they have their own interest, they'll send one Seydumba to go and disrupt or lock the training ground. They'll tell the hierarchy of a club will tell you that we cannot guarantee your safety as a manager, so don't go to the training ground. That is what they have taken to the national team. That is exactly what's happening at the national team now. And we saw it. These people are documented people. We know them. The assistant to the FA, we know him. There's another guy who is, I think, an owner of Avenos Stars. He was also in the mix. We know him. These are not people we do not know. We know these people. Now, that has trickled down to the team leadership. You know what's happening with team leadership? The team, right? Members of this national team have their PR people threatening to beat up journalists. I'm telling you.
Imagine.
No, I'm telling you something.
Wait, members
of
players.
Players. Team. Yes,
okay.
Players in this national team have their PR people threatening to beat up journalists for speaking their minds. That's what's going on with this now. Do you know why? Because the leadership does it and it is fine. The leadership can threaten them. If you are Chris Hughton, right, and you know that your employers have people who can cause a stir like that after a defeat, can you work? Can you do your job?
You cannot.
Can you do your job?
You cannot.
As for Chris Hughton, tactically, he has his own issues. Nobody doubts that. He's not been an A-list coach for us in any sense.
Exactly.
But if you create an atmosphere, right, where you cannot work. Imagine, did you remember the speeches that were granted when old washed Milo was being hired?
Yes. He was having drink on the table. He's not matrama.
When Chris Hughton was being hired, none of them turned up.
Oh, yes.
He had to deal with the FA's PR person.
Yes.
And
it was only Mr. Asantichum who was there that day.
That has literally been Chris Hughton's relationship with the FA since he got here.
Members of the executive committee are happy to tell you in private that it's the government's coach, and we do not like Chris.
Exactly.
I hear the nickname.
Oh, you're a buying coach.
Yes, I heard the nickname that the FA people were calling him by was a buying coach.
Yeah,
he's excellent.
It's not the president. It's not the nation that pays.
What I would say is this: if the president cares about football, because brand Black Stars is more powerful than any brand in this country. You can argue all day you want about it. I will not. I won't engage.
Not even NPP,
I won't
even
engage anybody.
Not even the two political so-called powerful parties.
The president,
Black Stars brand is bigger than all of them.
Cares about brand Black Stars.
What?
He needs to call the FA president to the Jubilee House
immediately. Invade
the sports minister needs to get called to the Jubilee House.
Thank you.
The Black Stars players, they need to calm down.
Everybody should report.
Nonsense that happened at Inaki Williams, Bilbao, France contingent, social. That nonsense needs to stop. You went to the tournament as a group. If you've embarrassed us as a nation, you need to come back here and answer with the leaders who went with you. We don't do things like that. You see what's happening? That's the culture we don't have that I'm talking about. Now the tournament is over. Inaki Koni Krom. Gideon Mensah and Salisu and Monaco, they are gone to their do you think that these players care about winning? I saw them with my eyes when they lost that game.
Don't care.
When the media were getting hostile. Look, They had their earrings on. They had their $50,000 watches on. They were just looking at us like, who are these people even? Like, look, they looked at us with no remorse. So one of them actually had the nerve to square up with us. Mohamed Salisu. Mohamed Salisu, the same guy we went to beg. The same Salisu we went to beg. He squared up with somebody and said, if they like, they should let the person beyond the barricade. I'm like, what? Are you a national team player who's just done this load of rubbish? Who's gone to 2 AFCONs and won no game? But the players do not care. You know why? The leaders do not care.
Juxtapose that to the Egyptian
this
team.
This is a money machine.
Listeners will get the idea.
This is a money machine. Now, I'm telling you about Mohamed Salah when I was coming inside here. You heard he's injured, right? Mm-hmm. And he was confirmed. Jurgen Klopp had confirmed that he was set to go to Liverpool. In fact, there was an uproar after Egypt's first draw against Mozambique. It was so bad. And Salah got spit roasted. And then he picked up that injury against Ghana and they said he was going back. They said on Egyptian radio that if Salah was a man, he should go back to England. He should go. Did he go?
That's what he said.
Did you see Mohamed Salah going?
Yeah. He's there. He's in Cote d'Ivoire.
He turned around his decision quick. He said he was going to Egypt. Liverpool's Mohamed Salah. Ghana, we don't have a Mohamed. We don't have a player with Mohamed Salah's clout in this country. Mohamed Salah turned around. But our players who wore kente and kaftans and were swagging before the AFCON, they all left individually to their clubs. And nobody's good say anything about it. The only people who would care, maybe the Parliamentary Select Committee, weeks after, due to bureaucracies, and say, we want to have a meeting via Zoom. Look, these guys have reached a point where, like I said, they are spoiled because they belong to brand Black Stars. The country and politicians know that brand Black Stars can wash away all sins. If the Black Stars had won this AFCON, we will forget about our economic problems like 2-3 months. And people will again take advantages to make money. Because it is brand Black Stars. There needs to come a point where Akufo-Addo says, you know what, enough is enough. You have dragged my brand in mud enough. We need to take an interest in what we are doing. You heard his response to our colleague when he was asked about the Jamaica Commission white paper. He said, to be honest, I had forgotten. It's not something that is part of my worries.
He has to read. Somebody needs to find him.
I read it.
Somebody needs to find him a copy.
The Black Stars is a golden statue that they throw money at. When it goes well, it washes their sins. When it doesn't, they don't really care.
You've reminded me of something.
Listen.
Last night, the last thing I read. Oh, you finished.
Let me just finish.
You finished.
Look, for the players, I don't blame them because there's no culture to guide them. They exist in this culture where people come in for 10 days and make a truckload of money and enjoy all the luxuries of life because they are affiliated with the national teams. Look at there are factions within the team. There are people who only speak German. They don't even talk to anybody else. There are people who are in the national team who only stick to their friends. There are people who will see a through pass. Just pass
the ball through. We are going to score. All of a sudden, his brother comes
dynamics change, and all of a sudden, these people have found their crossing boots. Look, they are not conspiracies. So I am privy to information, and you know there are some people who have made themselves gods of the national team. They think that only they have info on the national team. Relax. You are not the only person with info on the national team. Relax. Relax. If we want, do you know how Joseph Penso was substituted from that final game? If we want to get into it right now, do you know that Joseph was ready to leave that game? Yes. Because if you know within yourself that you've been the best player on the pitch in 45 minutes and your head coach is yanking you from the game, will you be happy? Why? And then they ask your head coach and he says, you look like you are fatigued. He didn't even say you are fatigued though. You look like. How can you tell a person is fatigued by looking at him?
Somebody who is playing regular football.
Is that not why we even have a halftime 15-minute break?
Uh-huh.
They have water
But that
break,
should tell you about what had happened in that. At that time, Chris Hughton had been threatened by a fan / a Keto Kreko Hancho. So everybody knew that hell had broken loose. And so there was no control in the national team at that point. Look, at that point, they knew that the national team coach was getting fired. Everybody knew after Cape Verde that Chris Hughton was getting fired. If you didn't know, then you were joking. He was getting fired. And so the people who had their own power within the team, they were doing their own things. Joseph Penso was sitting down with no explanation, and the coach did not speak to him either. As for Hughton, he has come and been politically correct with us. He's conducted himself as a gentleman for most part, because at least he has some cultural guidance. As for us as a national team, we have lost it. We need to use this opportunity to reset, because it is culture that has gotten Senegal where they are.
Simple.
Aliou Cisse, 2002 squad, promoted to national team head coach, built academies all over the country. Now they are CHAN champions, under 17, under 20, beach soccer champions. Yeah. And you know what El Hadji says? It is because of a strong partnership between federation
and the government.
And government.
They have built academies in every city. They have a plan that works. In the time, 2015 till now, that Aliou Cisse has been head coach of Senegal, we've hired at least 6 coaches in that same spell. We've gone to 2 AFCONs, at least in recent memory, and we've not won a single game, to whom it may concern.
Kaish. No.
Let Auntie first.
You're talking about the whys.
Nathan, you see, the whys are many, but there is one simple solution for us to have the political will. The politicians walk into town without a plan for sports. And when I talk about plans, it goes beyond building astroturfs. It goes beyond the
I have told them to stop it.
It goes beyond building boreholes.
That's for AstroTurf. One day we'll talk about
Yeah, we
AstroTurf.
really need to talk
It
about
goes beyond building boreholes and trying to say that you are developing the game. He spoke about Senegal, the Senegal example. Have you seen Morocco? Even their national teams? I was in Namibia not too long ago. They have just one stadium. That stadium is also their training center. You have about 20 teams, other premier club teams, every team in that country training on that same pitch. They are into the second round. And that is almost a desert. We have everything going for us. And because the politicians do not have a plan, they decide to be lazy and take the easy way out. What is the easy way out? The euphoria that greets the Black Stars. So they come into town, and an AFA president will walk to the president and say, Mr. President, you see, the temperature of the nation is so hot that a Black Star victory will change things. The Black Stars beg us behind the scene to do promotions for them to be called. And when they are called, they can walk to the president and have a presentation on why their salaries
should be
must
increased.
be increased.
Yeah.
What happened to patriotism? Are we talking about the same players who call us behind the scene and beg that they are given an opportunity? And this current team,
Players, listeners, I hope you are taking note. A few years ago, 2 Black Stars players, captain and his deputy, went to see the president, and they did presentations to tell the president why their bonuses should be increased.
yes,
Meanwhile, they haven't won anything to.
they haven't. But if you reward team that finished second, what do you expect? How is it that we are going to AFCON for a team that has not done well in recent past, and the president thinks it's okay to fly to Kumasi to do a dinner or whatever with them before they go? Let them bring the trophy. Let something be at stake. There is nothing at stake. There is no one that there is. It is no one that there is no sort of accountability, because the government is afraid that the FA will hand them into thinking, okay, we are the football people, FIFA will ban us. Let me give you the news. Nathan, when we didn't go to Russia 2018, nothing happened. Nobody died.
Nobody died.
Nobody. People are saying in 17 months we are going to AFCON in Morocco, and we have qualifiers
We don't
coming,
need to be there.
and we need to play Argentina in friendlies, and we need to do that. So that's why we have to make sure we are guiding this very well. If we don't go to AFCON, nothing will happen. Nobody will die. We had a unique opportunity to structure our football the best way possible when the normalization issue came. We toyed with it. Football people manage, and government allow themselves to be told that, okay, if we don't do this, the under-17s are not playing, the under-20s are not playing, they are qualifiers, and there has to be a quick fix. In the end, the football people dictated. Are we talking about the same football people who will call you behind the scene and are crying that football is on its knees, but because that they will be included in a contingent to an AFCON or World Cup and take cheap money, they think it's okay? You know, we can decide to lie to each other, but if you look in yourself in the mirror and lie to yourself, then it's a problem. I'm saying we have yet another unique opportunity, and it behoves the president
Exactly.
to show interest in football.
Proper leadership.
Because it's either we are a football nation
Or we are not.
At this minute, we are not a football nation. How are we a football nation when there is no successive plan? When we're doing the semi-finals back-to-back AFCON, it's because at least there was the under-17 functioning, the
Ben
under-20
Kofi-
functioning,
the Ben Kofi era,
5-year
five-year
plan,
development was what we were
plan.
enjoying.
After 2002 World Nations Cup, we exited first round. Didn't go to Tunisia in Mali.
202 we came quarterfinals.
In Mali.
Nigeria KO'd us.
Yeah, killed us when we had that Kotoko
We
strike.
drew 2 games,
then
beat Burkina Faso,
and then
made
we
it to
got
the
knocked
next
out.
round, and then
We
Isaac
came
Boachi,
home.
Yeah.
And then we didn't go to
2004,
Tunisia,
Jimmy Gatete,
2004.
Rwanda.
Then Baba Amando and team in
Egypt,
Egypt in 2006,
first round.
Zimbabwe
black
beat
jersey.
us, the black jersey, that black jersey.
Exactly.
Then we went to the World Cup, did well, and the euphoria was up.
That's right.
At least when we progressed to the finals in 2010, there was a certain crop from the 209 under 20 team that you could have a chunk there. The Rabiu Mohammed, Jonathan Mensah, Ajman Bedu, Dede Ayew, and others. Could we say same? Check the records. The last few years, in between the last 2 AFCONs, we have invited over 300 players. 300 players.
Obviously,
Obviously,
300
we are
players.
not serious. And most of these players, some will tell you that I am confronted and told that if you do not sign for my agency,
You are not
do
getting-
not qualify
How?
to play.
I mean, how can you do that?
This is something
How can you
we
do
hear
that?
every single day.
Oh yeah.
You cannot pretend. It is only in Ghana that I hear that there is a certain school. They are always, or your child is always last in the class continuously. And it is truly or solely the fault of the teachers or the headmaster, or the parents can't even take any blame. Okay, are we checking his homework? Are we helping him? Is he studying, or he's just
After all,
watching
he's
TV?
teaching and learning. When he's taught,
You have
does he
to-
go back to learn?
Yes. You have to be able to measure it. And you only measure it when you have a plan, when you have a policy. Where is the ministry's policy? I think the ministry's policy is to make sure that they find money for the Black Stars.
Yeah, but
There
the Naya
was
back,
this time-
carry the money all the way and be sharing the money by heart.
It's what they do, unfortunately. At the last AFCON, when we exited at the group stage, we learned later that we spent $4.5 million.
imagine?
And that was the prize money for the entire tournament. And we exited first stage. And that is how much we spent. But because...
We're in Cameroon.
Yes. But because they will say that the journalists will talk, Ghanaians will be angry, and after a few days, they will keep quiet. They take us for granted. I do want to call on the president that the nation is not happy about the way football is being run.
We are not, oh.
And I want him to be bold enough not to be afraid of so-called interference. Because the government and the people of Ghana, we fund the national team.
It's our money.
And the government cannot sit there and be bullied into thinking that your role is only to fund the Black Stars
No.
or fund the national teams.
No.
It is never the case anywhere. The government should also understand that when you want to call the shot and have a policy, the policy should be measurable. You should be able to say that at the school level, this is what we are doing. I was in USA recently, and my hosts after school were taking their kids, girls, 3 years, 2 years, to soccer practice.
Exactly.
To soccer practice. It is how you plan. When you see people win on TV, a lot of things have gone
into
They
it.
have set a good culture for their kids,
Yes.
taking their kids to
Recently,
practice.
I read Muller, a quote attributed to Muller, the German, that in Germany, we are taught from a tender age to play for each other,
Oh, yes.
to build a team together. It is how come when the Ballon d'Or list come out, you don't see the Germans there. It's not about the individual awards.
No.
It is the group one. And that is why you see 4 stars on our jersey.
That's right.
At least there is a culture.
Because we play for each other.
At least there is a culture. Whether you want to do agro or you want to do multi-system, let there be something. I prefer someone with a plan that is not working than someone who has no plan at all.
He's chopping money
You see,
by heart.
when you PR your way into things in this life, you get exposed.
Exactly.
The fundamentals are weak, and that is the results we see. I am expecting the president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, to make a huge statement because you see, Ghanaians are watching
He
him.
must.
He must. It's a good time to. And don't let anybody tell you that we cannot do it and we don't have the funding. If you look to Saudi, if you look to Morocco, if you look to other places, people are looking for partnership.
Yep.
Partnership, when you have a plan, you are able to tap into.
Exactly.
And it won't be just about building the AstroTurf that will make just a community
I have
happy.
told them to stop
Is the
doing that.
AstroTurf meant just for recreation, or it's meant to develop
You don't
football?
develop a footballer
Using
using
AstroTurf.
AstroTurf.
No.
I've told them to stop
No,
that.
You don't get
You don't
excited
do
because
that.
people are happy you are building AstroTurf, so I'll
Can
build
you
10 more.
bring a little boy and
It
tell
is
him to
not
go and
how-
be playing on cemented grass?
You are
not how you
destroying
do
his knees.
It's
There's
not
a
how-
lot.
It's not how you to develop football. To develop, it has to be deliberate.
Exactly.
And if there's going to be a roadmap, I would appeal to the president and whoever will do the constitution, will constitute the committee, that dissenting views do not mean people hate them.
At all.
It's our nation. It's our tax. It's important that they incorporate not just their friends and cronies and people who are close to them. If we do that, we will run backward and we'll come back to this table complaining about all the things we could have done and did not do. And as for the football people, I want to feel sad for them, but they don't deserve it. Because they are
They
the
will feel
first.
sad for themselves.
Oh, yeah.
They are the first to tell us straight in the face that they are the football people and we have no right whatsoever to question anything. You sat there and decided that by popular acclamation, Kurt needed to go
For a second
unopposed.
term, yeah.
So don't call us behind the scene and cry and say, do you see what he is doing? You like the boots that he's sharing.
And the boss
You
is
like
giving.
the balls that he is giving to you. It is what you are enjoying because you are not thinking about the kids on the streets. You are not thinking about the talent that are getting wasted. You are not thinking about all the good things that we could do because football tourism is huge. We
Huge.
just do not get it.
It's so huge that look, you cannot
Otherwise-
even quantify it.
Otherwise, Saudi
It's beyond
Sport-
quantification. You
sports-
cannot.
Sports tourism. Look at what the
huge.
everything is
Look
going
at
to Saudi Arabia now.
Why
Boy.
is Rwanda advertising everywhere? Visit Rwanda. They get it. They understand it. We are not just passionate. We haven't lost our minds when we speak truth to power. We get it. We are saying that not everybody is stupid. At least if we know the truth, we should start something. Start something, have a policy. Decide that in 5 years, this is what I want to achieve. So if the Black Stars do not win another tournament in another 5-6 years, we get it. We are on a road to something. The under 12 is working, the coach team is working. There are student athletes who should have the opportunity to find their way in there. There are the Kubolos who should also have a place in our game.
Exactly.
It has to be something deliberate. Without it, I am sorry, we will just run around in circles. And because people profit from it, from the
They make
chaos,
good money.
it's what they do. Because how is it that until recently, Oliver Bierhoff was the
German national team manager.
yes for all the national teams, and those were teams that were up to something.
Yeah.
And you think you should always have a
Management members.
committee, management members.
What is
Four,
that?
5 until recently.
7.
It could be 7, and they walk to tournaments, come home with $100,000. What is the prize money for the Premier League?
Look, some of the players told me that when they are sleeping, the management members are bringing girls into the hotel
How?
and they are misusing. I'm telling you.
What is the prize
telling
money
you.
for even the Ghana Premier League?
It's not $100,000.
That kind of
is it?
$100,000, even for one person, will make a whole lot of difference. We carried supporters to AFCON.
Oh, yes.
Has anybody bothered about the Jamefa Committee's report?
Clearly not.
At least it doesn't matter which government was in
because
power.
we carried supporters again
Again, and I was reading
to
that
AFCON
report
2017.
today.
They are not supporters.
Carried
oh.
them again to
They are
29.
party
They are party people.
faithfuls.
I read-
NDC, you share me. MPP, you share me.
read-
I can send it on the digital.
I
I'm telling you.
read that report today, and it was explicit.
Very explicit.
Do not.
Don't do this.
These supporters union, they find a way to make their own money. Most of them are involved in all manner of things. Why is it that we should spend money for a nation that has gone to IMF?
Talking about
Spend
that,
so much
let
money.
me give you some revelation. Listeners, do you know that after the last AFCON, Every single player who went to that AFCON took $20,000.
I said it. Look at Wakaso
As appearance
appearance fee.
Every
He
player took
injured knee.
$20,000.
Appearance fee $20,000.
The coach took $40,000. Milo took $40,000.
They get double of the players' money, the technical team, the coach, and his assistant. And you see,
What are you doing to get
as for
double?
the
Like,
FA,
what are you doing?
It's what happens. I need the FA to understand one thing.
That's right.
It's okay if you think that because Chris was the government's coach, you were not happy, but you see, you exposed yourself. What was at stake was bigger than personal interest.
Exactly. Ghana was at stake.
It was Ghana at stake. If you thought you made him an orphan so that he would embarrass himself, you embarrassed yourself.
Ghana.
You embarrassed the nation. I had friends in Canada and others who hadn't been in touch in a while. And the only reason they got in touch was because of how poorly we played.
We say Black Stars
Absolutely.
is bigger than any brand in Ghana. Go and argue with your professor. We are telling you today that the Black Stars
It's
brand
unfortunate.
Black Stars, it is bigger than anything that has come out of this country
And it is
before.
why they do the things they do. Because they think once it's about the Black Stars, we should just pave the way for them to do everything. It is not right. And the earlier we stop this, the better. And the only person who can stop this
Is the president of the land.
Because the coach that they are going to look for, it will be our tax money. It will be the president
yeah.
that pay.
Immediately stop that.
So stop it. Nip it in the back today. If we do nothing about it,
Ekufado, interfere in our
Come
football.
back.
Interfere in our football.
And
We
you
are
see,
we are
Ghanaians-
stating it
Ghanaians
explicitly.
will be very happy.
Interfere in our football.
Ghanaians
Watch out
will be
after
very
2
happy.
years.
That's what I'm saying. We have a unique opportunity. People are angry.
Pardon the
People
name,
want to
money.
see something different.
Veronica, do you know what's funny? Now we have appointed the same people who have presided over our past failures to take us to hire a coach for the World Cup. Who is going to watch the World Cup qualifiers are playing? Who is going to watch?
The people
And
you
when your
called to
people-
bring back the love.
Good, I was just
when
about
you
to-
came and
You
we
show
were hurt.
us no respect.
Then you
were
go
hurt.
and coin slogans. Bring back the love. Bring back the. How many AFCON games have you won?
No, Ishen.
None in 2. Oh Lord, the messages are a whole lot. We'll go through them later. Coach Christopher Nimley is up next. Remember, the show is Sports Panorama live on Citi 97.3 FM. Messages are welcome on 0549986996. Show is also brought to us by Bell Poker and Game Park Games. Before Coach you come in, let me give you a song.
Money I hit wa. Money I hit wa.
No no kame bamie, no no kame bamie, bayote. Au Georgie, no no kame bamie, no no kame bamie, bayote. Au Georgie, no no kame bamie, no no kame bamie.
Oh, no more bami, no more biote, no more mote.
Look, God will never disgrace you if you fully depend on Him. Not partial. You are either for God or you are not for God. You remember there was a time I made a statement here that Ghana football is being ruled by ungodly people.
Hey,
Yes.
ungodly
people. You see, if you don't respect the laws of the land, you are ungodly. If you don't abide by the laws of the land, you are ungodly.
It's true. Because Jesus Christ told the people that give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar.
No, look, we sat in this country and we allowed Keto Kreku to go ahead with an election that was in court. That election that they held in Tamale, at the time of going to that election, there was an injunction on that election that don't go ahead with it until the court had ruled on the matter. Ketokreku defiled the courts of this land. That's why I look at this country at times and say, Charlie, oh my goodness, what happens to my children and my great-grandchildren? Your children, my children, our children. Quickly with that, I don't want to put my children out there in the Western world because the cultures there will not favor my children. No, me, I've stayed there for years. And I've told myself, I don't want to raise my children in such an environment.
But then when I
look at what is happening in Ghana,
there's no culture.
There's no culture.
Yep.
The day Ketokreku defiled the court of this land and went ahead with that election, that was where I realized that indeed, like he told the president of the land when he was elected as Ghana Football Association, you know, when he went to the Jubilee House, he told them there are 2 presidents in Ghana. Yeah. He said it. He said there are 2 presidents in Ghana. His Excellency Nana Addo and he himself, Ketokreku.
Both have the same, their wives have the same names.
That is it. So when he's doing things, he do things with impudence, with great arrogance. Look, I spoke to a journalist friend who was with the team. He said, Chris, you have said that your namesake tactically is not up to the task. That I don't dispute. My friend told me, he said, Dad, I don't dispute. But if you were here and you are truly Ghanaian, you will hope and pray. If you can do anything practically possible for Chris Hughton to succeed, you will do it. If you are truly Ghanaian. Because the machinery that Ketokreku has set around the man, there was no way the man would have succeeded. And Benjamin has just testified to that. Look, how on earth could you threaten our head coach with your apparatchikis, with your Goro boys? You could go and threaten our head coach and make it, put it out there as if it was the ordinary supporters who had gone to do and threaten the man. Thank God for technology. But you know what? There were some national security people there, and I'm shocked that they didn't cause the arrest of those Ketokreku people who did that.
One of them was arrested.
He
was handcuffed.
Wow.
And when Ket was informed, I was told he was informed of what was going on. You know, amazingly, that was the only time the so-called Aziz, who is supposed to be the chief security to the Black Stars, Super Aziz, was not anywhere around the team. But if it was an ordinary journalist, even trying to talk to, is it Yapo Fuankra or somebody?
It's a Siao and somebody else.
He was slapping the guy from the neck. Come on, you don't respect him. I've told you to get away from here. Harmless journalist. And Yao, you could hear from the video, Yao was telling him that, no, leave him, don't do that. So Ketokreku have the balls in between his 2 legs to actually threaten our national team coach with Nanado, His Excellency, our papa. Number 1 Chebo. What Chebo ni no kwafebo. Invade the GFA. Show Ketokreku where power lies. If he said Chris Hughton was a government coach, show him that the GFA sits on the land of Ghana. They are not bigger than the laws of Ghana. Look, if we don't go to the next AFCON, so be it. If we don't go to the World Cup,
we are not even going to do anything
but
there.
There are no guarantees that you even qualify.
We will not go.
So how you qualify?
We squeeze through.
We will not go.
We don't want to go to the
what sort of disrespect?
Happening there.
Look, gross disrespect. Let's say the man has a track record of being very rude, very disrespectful, uncaring. He doesn't care about the people of this country. He speaks to us anyhow. You just read the Algerians' apology.
Yes, they are pressing the Algerian FA.
I say I have never heard an apology renewal before. They apologized like 4 times in that statement.
Walid Sadi.
Yes, if you go to
the Tunisian
one too.
Tunisian head coach Jaleh Kadri, he has sent an apology to the Tunisian people after they couldn't make it.
You understand?
He says, blah, blah, blah. We apologize to the Tunisian people. Football is like this sometimes. You need luck. In respect of the Tunisian people, we apologize for this result.
That's it. These are people who understands that their continuous presence around our team depends on the people of Tunisia. Nathan, again, you see this country, we are so untruthful that we tend to find ourselves supporting the very wrong. I sat here and I gave my reason why this team should never qualify beyond the group. And I just didn't say it here. I've had my integrity and my godly values on the line. I prayed for it. And do you know what God did for me? Look, let me as at the time we're leading 2-0 against Mozambique, in the night I say, wow, Papa, if you say I am your son, should do something. My wife can attest to this. For the first time, I had my second daughter ask me, Daddy, why do you want Ghana to be booted out of the tournament? I told her, because the people around our team, including the minister, is not truthful. Then my daughter said, is that so? They are using our money, eh? I said, yes. Then they should come home. The moment the little girl said that, Andre caused the first penalty. Then bam. Then my girl turned, Daddy, 2-1. I said, yes, 2. I need it to be 2-2. Is that needed to be 2-2? Then man, look, as if it was it was destined to happen. So when that second goal went in, my daughters who during the game had jubilated when Ghana scored the first and second, they were not jubilating that it was 2-2. I said, yes, true. This is my blood. This is my blood. You understand? So how can you go with our money? Look at the amount of money.
Do you want me to go over?
Honorable Okujato Ablakwa
I can mention it for
is
you
putting out there as monies we have spent.
Look, even before I even go over the numbers, think about it. Ben, you were there and you can corroborate this. The supporters got their money, right? $400. That money was not written on a check.
No.
It was cash. So which means that
on the table.
So which means that we actually went to Cote d'Ivoire with that amount of liquid cash.
You cannot do that.
They'll be fed, they'll be housed, they'll be transported.
Everything.
So again, I'm just going over the numbers. Look at how much we've spent. 27.967 27,967,036
on qualifiers.
That is what we have spent
on qualifiers.
Ghana, Angola, home and away. Ghana, Madagascar, home and away. Ghana, Central African Republic, home and away. The fourth budget line is April to June 2023 salaries of the coach and signing on fees.
When you were spending
3,379,548.10.
You see, this is
somebody tease out how much exactly Hilton alone earned from that pot.
This is
we still don't know how much.
This is the level of disrespect they've given to the people of this country. We sat here. How much are you paying this man?
On top of your head, you know that Hervé Renard is on 400.
Yes, everybody.
You know.
No, but why shouldn't we be made aware?
At Saudi.
Yeah.
Why shouldn't we be?
How do we
So right now,
that?
his compensation will be shrouded in secrecy until they throw out some figures and you finally realize, oh, so this is how much you were paying.
We don't believe you people. For me, if you handle my money and I don't believe you, I pray for your downfall. I don't want you to succeed because you are so dishonest and you are untruthful. Dissolve that committee immediately. Quick, without delay.
The 5-man committee.
Look, and to the 5 gentlemen, lots of respect to you people.
Yep.
If you are truly Ghanaian, you should be telling Keto Kreku that, no, hold on. And my personal checks have told me that they have actually not confirmed to be on the committee. I've spoken to 3 of them already. I won't put their name, but I've spoken to. They said, we were informed. We didn't say
we had agreed
to be. Then all of a sudden, you put people's names out there. Wrongly constructed committee. Wrong, I repeat. How can you be looking for a coach? You have set up a committee.
You don't even have a technical report on the tournament you've just filled.
The tournament you just filled, there's no report.
There's no report on that.
So what are you going to look
You don't
at?
have a technical report.
What are you going to do? You keep repeating the same mistakes. And then in setting up the committee, you put only one technical man on the committee. The lawyers there, I mean, what are they going to do? They will only come in after the technical men have interviewed the coach and say, look, we think this is the man.
Then the lawyer
will come in. And even he will not deal with the coach.
Yes,
he goes and he deals with the agent of the coach.
Drafting the contract.
Mark Addo, minele coaching me. Mark Addo, minele coaching me. He knows nothing about coaching. Mark Addo, what does he know about coaching?
He hired Milo for you.
That was the outcome. Because he knew if indeed he was on top of coaching, he will not go and bring Milo. He will not bring Otoado, a trainer scout, to take us to the Mondial. When Joe Addo spoke about it, look at the way Keto Kreku, with his left hand pointing to his brain at a dinner, taxing former players to go and tell Joe Addo, if he was not listening, that he has negative mindset. You and Joe Addo, who is negatively oriented, you have been disgracing us, embarrassing this country continuously in all the tournaments you have taken us to.
3 tournaments, 1 win. 1 win.
We have drunk more bottles of poker here today than Keto Kreku has AFCON wins.
Over 34 to 35 million people. You are just an infinitesimal element of the people there. And we are telling you, when we speak to you, listen, be humble. Humble yourself.
You represent us.
And we will support you. When you come down to our level, who told you we won't support you? Who told you we will not be there for you? So please, that committee, 5-man committee, stop it. Nanado, immediately. Papa, yes, yes, number 1, Pabufai. People at the Jubilee House, if the president is not listening to this program, please prompt him that not only sport, but the entire country, we are saying he should stop. In fact, they should invade the place. Some time ago, it was declared a crime center. It wouldn't be wrong for the FA place to be declared another crime center. Relax. You chased our coach. You get your Goro boys to chase our coach and make life uncomfortable for him, so that he will be disgraced in this manner? What sort of people are these? In solving the problem, sack the minister. Because he's also been part of this failure. This is also his 3rd tournament as a minister. He's completely failed. You watch his interview when he was being vetted for the position.
Charlie.
You could clearly see that this was, how do people say, a square pegs in round hole. He knew nothing about football. And you see, nothing about sports. Only doesn't what?
I tell people who are close to the minister, and I tell them all the time. That listen, they need to tell him that some of these alliances and friends,
he should stop that.
Because it is his legacy that is on the line.
People, look, they see the Black Stars as cash cow. It's all about the cash. Look, I spoke to my boy. And 1 or 2. Look, I'm very close to most of the Black Stars players, but they don't know. Take it or leave it. My goalkeeper is in the team. If anything at all, Lawrence Atizigi, I took him when he was 8 years. He's in the team.
Charlie, Chris Hutton. Chris Hutton says he was keeping Ofori in our net because Ole Lekinson said that he should keep Ofori in our net. It was not his decision.
Ofori has not had no minutes.
For close to 2 years.
Let me tell you something.
For close to 2 years.
In 2022. Now, in South Africa, the team I follow the most is Orlando Pirates. Coincidentally, it's Ofori's team.
Yes.
He committed some error. He rushed out of his goal.
No. The South Africa team.
Oh my goodness.
Ofori is
number 3
now.
Yeah.
Even their number 1 there is not the number 1 goalkeeper.
Ronan Williams is Sundowns coach, right? It's Sundowns goalkeeper. And the Orlando Pirates fans started to talk about Ofori. And
anybody who remembers. Let's go back to my tweet during the tournament. Ofori, first game I said it. Second game I said the most routine situations. Ofori could not save the most. He was jittery every single time.
Minute.
I haven't seen a goalkeeper like that before. You are like a big guy. You've been through the motions with the blaster. You've been through all the levels. Why are you panicking when they give you a simple ball? But he can't catch a ball once. He was always looking nervous. And
it's
then
rustiness.
Benjamin, it's rustiness.
He's not been used to the situation.
Putin says that Olele's recommendation is that it is Ofori over Ati. And so your coach, who trains with all the keepers and oversees all the goalkeepers every day, says that, you know what, I'll sit this decision out. Let Olele take me to the promised land. Can you imagine?
You understand? So we speak to the boys. Look, you see what Ben said? The boys, they don't care. Do you know why they don't care? Not that they don't care about Ghana. Look, if I'm in the house with my family, as a father, the way I carry myself will show in my children's attitude.
Children learn by watching.
Things, there are certain things my children should know that, hey,
this one dear,
not under this roof. But our management members, look, apart from they being interested in the cash, they are so indisciplined. And whenever they've taken our team to any major tournament,
they go and do other things.
You know, you say you can't. Maybe I'll say it.
What is Lileji?
Oh, it will be no dash. You are somebody's Lile now.
Talk about they bring women.
The players tell us. The players tell us.
And you see, the Pullman Hotel was one of the best in the city.
Pullman is a nice hotel.
You management member, instead of you to be there and making sure that every player is well behaved, you need to check your behavior before you, because these boys, they are not kids. Some of them have got wives and children. They are family members. So instead of you being as a management member, what is your role? Set the standard. If they are to sleep at 9 o'clock, you sleep at 10. Make sure everybody goes to bed and you go and sleep. But when they wake up at dawn, you are schedule me at Twalala or Nuni or Tulani or Momoni Biami or schedule me. What do you expect the players to do? And the players, look, they talk. They will tell you, look, I spoke to 3 other players. And Jojo told me that, Charlie, coach, we want to come home.
Yeah, a lot of them. It's true.
Jojo told me that, coach,
a lot of them.
We are playing the football just here in Cote d'Ivoire. And our players are there and they are not comfortable, they are not happy because of the chaos in our hotel. We're in the same hotel as the Nigerians, isn't it?
They were organizing opening day for their media. Their media and their management of their football is so great that other countries got a chance to
even go and talk to
their players. People were taking selfies with Osimhen.
People were doing interviews.
Meanwhile, we had organized the media blackout. We had organized the media. We didn't want people to watch. We were training behind closed doors as usual.
As you have been doing.
Keeping all things shrouded. until
we. So the behind closed door is the performance.
Imagine if this was the behind closed doors.
When it's open, the action.
But no fear. How can we behave this way? So Nathan, look, we need a completely new reset.
We need an apology.
I have said,
first of all, the apology.
Until Keto Kreko apologizes to Ghana. Nanado, Your Excellency, you are the president of this land. He should.
You are above
everybody.
Yes.
Dr. Mahamadou Baumia. Prime Minister, you said the way the man has treated your coach. Prime Minister. Prime Minister, you see the way the man has treated your coach. Look, he should eat humble pie and give us the apology. Whether he likes it, there are times he should be forced to do it. That will make me love him.
No pressure.
That will make me appreciate him.
Nothing. You are setting up a committee to appoint
to appoint whose coach at whose expense.
You could not squeeze a paragraph
of an apology in there.
You know what's funny? They'll go back to the same government and say, okay, now we need a new coach. What's up? Okay, we need to pay Chris Houston some arrears. What's up?
This is the play they will give to government. That Charlie, the World Cup qualifiers are coming. So you know what?
We can't miss the next money train.
They'll say that because we failed at this AFCON, if quickly, Let's see if we can get one
It
win.
will not happen.
Jamefa committee says.
Nothing will happen.
Jamefa
The
says.
composition of this team, the way it is run, we are up to nothing.
Listen, I said these are players. They don't have any. They play.
Some of them do.
They play with no emotion. It's,
yeah.
it's a business transaction for them. They come and play. They take their money and they go.
Some
I
of
said
them
they
do
left
not
here.
know the
They
value.
left here with
they
Kente,
were from Schindler.
smiling and swagging. They after the tournament, less than 12 of them showed up here.
Yes.
Most of them departed in groups. The people who speak German, they went together. The people who are in France and speak French, they went together. The people whose father will pick them up too, they were picked up at the airport.
At the airport.
Those who are looking for individuals come and pick them up, they pick them up. I saw a video of Houston today leaving or going through his airport motions. I'm like, hey, Ewiase.
No, he has a story to tell.
When I sat on TV just a year ago,
Oh, yes.
unveiling Chris
Unveiling
Hilton,
Chris Hilton.
I am hoping, I hope that Chris Hilton would do a tell-all about his time.
Speak.
Yeah, he'll do it.
Look, Nathan, there is a lot to digest. Over me, you get a bottle of sparkling water, and it will still not be enough for you. I'm telling you.
We need a reset. You see the Jamefa Commission? This country, we are not serious. I remember very well the commission, all the good things in that report.
Oh yeah.
I read.
Oh, no, the
I
report-
started reading the
Oh, yes.
report
I
again
have it.
today.
I have it.
All the good things in that
Today.
report. Don't
Ghanaians, if you get the
supporters
chance and you get that report, please read
make
it.
sure anytime there's going to be a friendly game, the details of the financial benefit should be made public. And through the minister. This minister, he's in bed with Keto Krikwo. We went to play America and Mexico
still
in
don't know.
America. We still don't know how much money that these people made. They've made good money.
No, why
They
do
are
we
thi-
even have 3 kids officers in the team?
In the team.
And
Three
if
kids
I
officers.
told you who the third person is and where the person came from, you'll be amazed.
No, you see.
Why
maybe
do we
if-
do this to ourselves?
Tell me, I'll say it. Me, if you tell me, I'll say it. Maybe you cannot say it. Maybe if you tell me, I'll say it. if you go for a short break, tell me, I'll say it. Because that can, you see, that cannot be allowed.
3 kids officers forward. Some of the world's biggest football clubs have like 1 kid.
But Bierhoff was overseeing the
Mokutu
whole of
Aminu
Germany.
Shadow is my very good friend. You know it.
Yeah.
But the day he was given the job, I told you here that he is not the man for the job. You don't do Mantramakwe. A Dreams FC team manager, no experience, straight Black Star team manager. Okay, he's your boy. If you want to give him, let him start from the under 17. You don't equate Aminu Shadow to Sabankwe. Somebody who's worked with the likes of, if Stephen Appiah and Co. Mark Lessem, they see Sabankwe no more.
Me Saban.
This Sabankwe, how can Aminu Shadow control? Or the presence of Aminu Shadow? What
Who will it
fear?
scare? It won't
It won't scare anybody.
The youngins in this team, they've grown wings already.
Jamefa
The young
Commission
players in this team,
was
they've grown
so
wings already.
emphatic. Don't do A, B, C, D. The very things we were told not to do in
we are
that
doing
commission.
it. Reminds me of a conversation I had with a certain politician, a former minister. He was sitting right here in this studio, and he said on air that we won't, this was before AFCON 2017
70.
or 29, whatever, I can't remember. He said we won't fly anybody. We won't fly anybody.
Oh, you won't fly who?
As soon as we went on a break, he pulled me outside and said, "Hey, do you understand the functions of political parties?" I said, what's the function of a political party? He said, "It's to win elections."
It is so because if they were running the country right,
It
if
would
they
be
were
good.
doing
So he
things
told-
and
Ghanaians
people
are
would
smart
see
enough. We
no
don't
one
need you
to
to
throw crumbs at them for them to think.
Let me
that
complete
you
the
are on
story.
their
Then he
side.
said, "So we'll do anything and everything to win an election. If it means we'll fly fans to go to an AFCON, we'll do it."
So keep doing it. Those of us who look,
And who wears it,
look,
don't cry.
Don't cry.
I have been called several times to come and let's go.
Why are you?
And I've told them, me, if I go at my own expense. Because when I go, whatever I see,
You
when
come
I
and say
I'll
it.
come and see it. They know me. We need a new reset. The reset is not this 5-member committee. We should be planning minimum 3-5 years. The template is there. Go back to that Ben Kofi template. Go back to the Jamefa's report. I had the privilege of being a secretary to a technical committee. No more workman. You can call lawyer Moses Fuamwene and ask him, Justice Jamefa is still alive. Ask him whether that technical committee that they set up were given 1 cedi. But the commission, as a commission, they were paid for the work they did. When they sit, they took money. We were given the opportunity to serve Ghana. And I always tell this story. There was a day we stayed there because the commission gave us a time frame that within this time, that technical report will have to be submitted. I remember the last week to the report. Ma type report, I'll arrange. I need to send to Uncle Ben Coffee to Otiakintin to the late Sam Ade. They will read. They'll say, no, reframe it this way. Now go back and type. Like back and forth, back. There was a day
we have suffered for Ghana football.
Look, there was a day we closed at 1 a.m. And Uncle Ben Coffee asked me, Miba, you are fantastic. Miba, I don't like. He was asking me,
how will you go home?
A better than coffee. Me say that. Me tea there. Me some fear what the bracket and the me foul be that one. You know, or see what him see me tea. Don't do what comes on. See, Debbie, I'll take you home. I said, what? No, it's too late. Papa, you were 80 years old. He was over 80 years at the time. He said, I'll take you home. I couldn't be. For those of us who were closer to him, when he say such thing, you don't want to argue with him. You allow him to have his way. So I sat in his car. Nathan, the man drove me all the way to my house. When I got home, I told him that, Daddy, I will not sleep until you call me that you have reached. So I was there, about 1 hour, 20 minutes time. Then he called me that. Chris, my bed to feel into bed to me before I slept.
What if something had happened to him on the way back?
No! Today, Coach Ade is no more. Ben Kofi is no more. Otia Kente is around.
But we have
Ketokreku. This same man saw the need to sack the only certified CAF instructor in Ghana. That Oti cannot contribute to whatever
the
goes
DNA.
out in the DNA or the technical directorate at the FA. Oti is there. But for people like Masawu Didi Dramani, I am very disappointed in him. Very, very disappointed in him. Because your godfather is Oti Akinting. Oti practically made Masawu Didi Dramani. He gave Masawu Didi Dramani to Ghana. And even Professor Minta. Oti virtually made sure that the two of you will go into Ghana football. When the CAF courses were organized, it's Oti. And he will bring you people as instructors. So when Ket took the decision to get, if I am Professor, if I am,
you walk
for
away,
the sake of principle, I'll tell Ket,
based on
you
principle.
either restore him or I don't work with you. But Professor Mita is comfortably working with them. So where is the way forward? In that document, we gave this country a brand of football. A brand that we actually showcase the quality of the Ghanaian player from age 10 years. Do you know the beauty of that document? We costed every stage. And
how much it would cost to train?
And there was one thing that Justice Jemefe actually thanked the committee for. When we proposed that, if we can, as a country, let the government, together with the FA, agree that the funds that are raised at the various municipal, the KMA, AMA people,
yes, the MMDs,
if we can commit between 3 to 5% of that money annually to establish regional academies in this country, linked to the Ministry of Education, so that we invest in coaches, costed, in referees, costed. Everything, women's football, costed.
Policy.
Everything costed. I say it is in the document.
That's how policy looks like.
It's in the document. So when we did that, then can you imagine somebody like me? Yes, I can talk for myself and few of my other colleagues who are not only coaches, well educated, but who are also educationists. Can you imagine?
You teach.
Me, I'm in one of those academy. I'm not only teaching or coaching football, but I'm teaching chemistry or teaching these boys mathematics, something that will make sure that after their football career, they've got something to build on. We've thrown that away because you don't want to see Oti Akinting. You don't want to see him. So Professor Minta and Masawu Didi Dramani, who should be looking into the eyes of Ketokreku and telling him boldly, as men with balls in between their legs, that look, You don't do that. You are crippling, you are destroying our football by that decision that you've taken. Then when Bernard Lepet came, look, I heard a story about Bernard Lepet yesterday from a very good friend. You know the friend, but I won't put his name out here. Who was very close to Lepet. Do you know when we went to the last AFCON? Lepet, he was treated as if he was nobody.
They said he was leaving. I was surprised. That
He was treated as, I said, look, he was in the stands. He never got closer to anything technical. When they were having technical meeting, you were there.
I say Chris Hutton.
You were there.
Chris Hutton had the FA's PR person and probably the FA's protocol person as his only people to work with from the FA in this entire duration.
Can you imagine?
Everybody else had
that is their character. Almost
how can you succeed in a job like this?
I'm a so come bang, no, I'm a geolog boy. So we can only come here and talk. We are ready to commit and work for Mother Ghana.
Listen, I hope that we don't just stop talking.
Yes, I'll continue to talk.
I want to appeal to the whole nation that we are not happy.
We are not.
And it is important that we register it so that the football people and friends do not think that we'll talk for 1 week.
No, but we need to defund the Black Stars. It's something that we need to defund.
I came here this evening.
Defund the Black Stars.
One of my oldest, that is one of the big men in Adabraka. I grew up, I was born and bred in Adabraka. This is my area. When we were kids, they were our big brothers. Look at my age now, so you can imagine. Do you know what the man called? On my way here, he told me one time, he said, Chris, if you guys can come together and organize a demonstration against the FA and against the Ministry of Youth and Sport, you will see the aging people. Those above 60 years, 70 years will be part of that. And when you have people at that age making such statement, it confirms what Auntie Vero is saying, that Ghanaians are very angry.
Reminds me of a video I saw on Twitter of this older woman.
Yes.
Complaining about
what is this?
She said, I've seen Adele dancing and he won't play this nonsense.
Football.
He'll be clearing the ball from the back.
So if you have people at that age making such references, it should tell you that indeed we are not happy. We are pleading to the people of Ghana.
Coming to hire a new coach to go and play.
You better stop that and put yourself in your right position. Ketokreku and that your 5-member team. His Excellency Nanado Dankwa Akufo-Addo, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the Vice President of the land, we are calling upon you. People say the sports minister is your boy. That is why they cannot sack him. Dr. But that's what I've been hearing. People are saying that the sports minister is Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Then he's not fit to be where he is. He should be sacked immediately. Sack him immediately. If you cannot sack him, then it means that whatever he's doing, you also you are in support. Ketokreku to the Jubilee House so that he will come and answer and give reasons why we've performed this abysmally under his reign as FA chairman. What is that? How can we be coming here and just be talking? And you people, Abusa, Aduni, no, I'm a 12. Look, when the gun says, oh, 12, do you understand that?
What's so your day?
Came back from the first AFCON, said we didn't have a Messi.
Ronaldo,
you didn't know this before you went to the tournament.
You were taking Filimo Bafo, you were telling us was the right.
No apologies, no problem. Come back a second time, no apology again. You arrive scattered and Nicodemously in the country. Next thing we know, you are putting together a committee to hire us a new coach because World Cup is coming. You don't want to miss the money train. Do you know how much money has passed through our hands?
The numbers that I've read, haven't you seen it?
I don't know why. I think some of us maybe we think too much about it, but they are proving to me that money making better than legacy. That's what they are telling us.
Look, I listened to Doc.
That's exactly what they are telling us.
He said, look, it's about the cash.
Yes, money making.
Money making
is better than legacy for these people. Because tell me why we are unveiling boreholes. We are unveiling astroturf and people are building like proper facilities.
And most of these people have not benefited as much as we have. The FIFA forward
as we have.
Listen, and those people, they have like tangible, so countries like Mauritania,
they said
Gambia,
Madagascar.
Ben, 10 years ago, and I said this earlier, 10 years ago, Mauritania they got punished by CAF because they couldn't put a team together to play an AFCON qualifier.
Yes.
They are in the
10 years on, they are beating Algeria.
Because it's leadership. They had one person come in, decided to sit down to say that our league is not good enough. All of this has happened. How do we change that narrative?
It needs to be fixed.
Let us hear from our listeners. Let's hear from them.
But just before we do,
They've been telling
we'll give them chance for them to talk. Just before we do, is it the committee?
Yeah.
Is Kwesi Appiah part of the EXCO members?
Kwesi Appiah is on the EXCO.
Okay, so Keto Kreko, going forward, if you want to set up a proper committee, not this one, dissolve this one, apologize, wait, sit down, sober heads, reflect.
Because even the sports ministry statement says that they were also going to conduct another review. So what if the sports ministry's review is done? I'm just assuming.
Obviously, the FA feels they are not accountable to
and then you are also doing your own review.
But you see, Kets should understand.
Their sports minister was on TV apologizing after their
you
fraudulent
represent all of us. It's our football. This FA you see has come a long way from the toils of many people. A lot of us have been in this system reporting.
You have seen the evolution of the.
Of course, I have seen Ben Kofi. I have seen
Alaji Jaula.
Yes, Dr. Nyahotamako. I have seen Kwesi Nyantechi. I have seen all these people.
And Veronica, do you know what's crazy? From those times, our team didn't even have these luxuries. So players sometimes had to buy their own tickets to come and play. Sometimes management committee members will have to sit down, go and look for sponsors to pay for hotels for players. You, this particular national team, like I'm saying, you are the biggest sports child in this country. Biggest too. When the Black Stars comes, we give everything. The Black Stars, and there's nothing they want.
You see,
that we don't.
But
give
it's
them.
Also because
nothing the politicians want, we don't give them.
The politicians and the football people, they've all come to understand
that is the way to blow the cash,
game the system. So the football people will tell the politicians that, Charlie, we need the black. Like you said, don't go and tell them
World Cup prize money or World Cup FIFA money is like $8 million.
They'll say that,
so
Charlie,
we need to go.
Ghana is hot. People are coming. So if we give them Black Stars and they win 1 or 2 games, people will forget. The politicians realize that, wait, that's convenient, because if the people forget, they won't ask us questions. So we come together, give the Black Stars every single thing. I go back,
the God 27, the God of Ghana will continue exposing them.
I hope that we can sustain some level of pressure until we see something.
Yes.
And my friend is Isankuma. I beg you.
Don't be part of this committee. Number one, Papa Fight.
Don't I beg you.
Isankuma
will not be happy. I remember when we had to move on from Dr. Nyahotamako to Kwesi Nyantechi came to power. You were part of that committee that did the roadmap for us. Yes, I remember this. We spoke at length, not just because you were a friend, but because I was a journalist. Ace, you know this. I beg you, don't get involved in this.
Because
until the right things are done,
very quickly.
Until the right things are done.
My media friends, we have every reason to lead a crusade. Don't be afraid when they call you names. It is because you are looking for something better
for Ghana.
Let us stay together. And swag.
Oh,
swag.
There's swag.
Swag. Please, let her speak.
I have been part of this organization so long. When I walked in, Ebo Kwansa was the president. Then it moved to Accra. I had known swag to be an organization that take the hard stand
Antivero
and helps in making sure that we do the right thing. Swag, speak, and monfa montuma penfra metsremo. It's so important because posterity will judge us. It will judge all of us.
Look, if anybody had told me that swag would be behaving this way under the leadership of the writer,
an award organization.
I would never believe this.
That's all they do.
But my writer, Kobra Eboa, look, but now a statement who should have been flying all left, right, center. Left, right, center, all over the place from the writer. Grammatically, we know you can write.
Veronica, God bless you for saying.
God
bless you.
Swag.
God bless you. Look, God bless you. We all need to come together and get the things to work.
Get this Ketokreku violent-looking FA, violent people. All they believe is beating people. You like to beat journalists just like that, and you don't want to do the job. What sort of people are these?
As they are beating you.
They are beating your people.
Don't forget.
You, Mr. Swag President, when Seydou Adamo was beaten in the US, Kobran Yeboah was one of those who were pleading with Seydou Adamo not to pursue the matter. Seydou told me this, so I can say it publicly. On authority.
Thank you.
Why should you be endorsing such indecent acts? Why? Swag President. So they will beat another person. The guy who they said the
FA that can't win matches.
He's rather beating people.
Let's get into them. But first, before we get into the messages, a little interlude. Oh man, Ghana football. This is why something.
There's no Ghana football again. Some people say the
don't
football,
go and watch any league. If they don't do the right thing, don't go and watch
some
any
people say
league.
the football belongs to them.
Yeah, they should do it.
Like we've all said on the show here, if the government does not see the need to put a hand in this football, because one, it is your name on it,
and save it.
The Black Stars is an embodiment of Ghana, the country.
The Black Stars of Ghana.
It is the soul of the country. Right. If the government does not see any essence in putting things right, let us leave the national team for the people who say it belongs to them.
So when they are playing the World Cup qualifiers, don't go to the stadium.
Nobody should go and watch them.
Let them play the match. Let them promote the match. Let them sit in the stands themselves and cheer their own.
They have disrespected us. The players, the GFA people, the ministry, they've disrespected the people of this country. Nobody should go and
I said they should organize the match.
Promote
the match. They should play the match, and they should go and sit in the stands and cheer themselves.
Let's go through some of the messages. The text lines are hot. 0549 986 996. This one says, Chai! I've been counting down to this day because it's the only sports panorama team that will give me the accurate critique of the shambolic performance displayed by the Black Stars. As for Kedia, the least said about him, the better. Jolio Brown, who's in Birmingham in the UK, says, tell you what, I've been anticipating the show since Monday, and all my UK friends are gladly listening because, I mean, why not? Says, Coach, spot here for me. Fidelis in Accra says, your reporter who returned from Cote d'Ivoire is making a very powerful point I agree with. All the players together with the technical team should have made their way back to
this country
to report to the president and Ghanaians on what happened before leaving. It's a good point, but they have failed to do so, and it's disrespect to
gross
Ghanaians.
Disrespect to Ghanaians.
Lambert in Dodowa says, how can the GFA keep doing the same thing and expect different results? They always form committees, hire coaches, sack them after tournaments, and form other ones. These committees are not realistic nor result-oriented. I'm happy to have moved on from the Black Stars 2014. He's asking why Ibrahim Osman is not part of the Black Stars.
Schindler, me. Ketokreku me play. Schindler, Ransford, me.
I know. Let me drop the last story of the evening. I know a certain Black Stars, but he didn't go to the AFCON. When he joined the team first, some officials of the FA called him and said, come and sign for us or else you won't play. The player didn't say anything. He said, okay, let's agree on a meeting and we'll meet on a certain day so that I sign and join your whatever.
Your agency.
Now the
How
player,
can you be behaving like that?
The player told his handler that this is what the people have said. So wait. The day that the player was supposed to have met these FA officials to sign that thing, they were sitting there when his handler showed up and sat down and said, but what is going? You are meeting the player without my knowledge. Okay, let's all. What are we signing? That the people couldn't talk, and they said, "Are we not signing the thing again?" They said, "Oh," and he said, "Okay, if we are not signing, then
I know the player,
but we will say,
I know this, but we will say that thing too is on video, and that player, unless he's always injured, when he's fit and he's not even playing, they will call him because the man has told them.
There's no honesty.
That failure to call that player, he released the video.
There's no
this one says, Sister Veronica Comment says we don't have a plan. I think otherwise. They have a plan, a plan to make money off the Black Stars, promote their agencies, call their players under 17 and under 20 levels at the expense of the deserving players and chop FIFA money free. They have a plan, Agbeko from Tamale says, if the fundamentals are weak, the tournament will expose. This one says, Kofi, who's in Amasaman, says, sacking, Chris and dissolving the technical team isn't enough. I want the government to dissolve the entire FA. Let FIFA ban us for at least 2 years so we can go back to making
fix these things.
Basic things right. As for the sports minister, the least said the better. He should resign or be sacked with immediate effect. My friends who are close to the minister, please tell him that this is the time.
Serious. All of them,
this is the time he needs to get up and be counted. The sports minister, the thing that he can save himself with is if he goes to government, takes government power and tries to reset things, or else he will be another one. Let's continue.
Vice President.
Let's move on. Francis Oakley in Community 22 says, so there's an infected file on your PC, but you choose to uninstall your antivirus to begin with cleansing. Says Kurt should come again with that committee. This was great hearing Veronica Comey tonight. We've all become accustomed to mediocrity. Look around you. So football is not an exception. It's painful. After the Egypt game, only God knows how I managed my BP. I'm yet to recover from the pain.
I told you.
These guys don't know what the national team means to us. They don't know how our hearts melt when the anthem is played while our flags fly at tournaments. Guys, let me tell you something. Do you know that after the Mozambique game, Ben, I didn't sleep.
Can you sleep?
I was lying down. Look, my eyes, Ben, my eyes.
Praying that to happen.
My eyes were shut.
I don't think anybody had proper sleep. I was working that day, but I didn't get any proper sleep.
My eyes were shut.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
My eyes were shut. I thought I was asleep. I just kept getting flashbacks of Richard Ofori. Goodness, Ben, I have never been so upset.
I have done everything to avoid a replay
of that game,
of those moments. Yeah. The 4 minutes moment.
Yes. Just 4 minutes.
You think we don't care?
Ben, that day I got home at 11:30. I was here with the boys.
Yeah.
The lovely Mrs. Q was sitting up at home waiting for me to come home.
You think we don't care?
And then you go and play such football. When we talk,
ball is over here. The ball is going to.
I heard Daniel Amate was trying to be jai.
And he with his own antics.
And then when he touched
his own antics at halftime, do you know that Danny Amate was insisting that he needed to play that game?
He was one of the troublemakers in the team. I was told from a very reliable source that he was
senior player.
So he should play.
Ghana is up 2-0. Born with your baby Bobby.
Wait, Ben.
And the instruction came from the
team that has a national team head coach.
Someone to strip on the field.
Yeah,
it's a mini.
When the whole world was watching. He couldn't care less.
I heard he's deleted all Black Stars pictures from before the game from his Instagram.
He did that before the Mozambique game because he was one of the troublemakers in the team.
You could decide not to play for Ghana.
You remember?
Your children will see that picture.
Yeah, they will see it
in future, and you won't be proud.
Because we took you to the World Cup in a game we needed to win. When he saw Luis Suarez, then he was
their own politics in the national team. When he finished, stripped down, used the Ghana flag to wrap himself.
What was that?
Doing a lap
before we leave, Ben, you were in Cote d'Ivoire. Me, I usually don't stoke. I usually don't stoke controversial flames, but for once I'll do it. I beg you. Why was Joseph Pencil taken out of that game?
Because senior players had to play.
It's not just senior
It's
players.
not just senior players.
It goes beyond
And I'm telling you that at that point, I'm telling you that at that point the head coach had no control.
He had to,
because the players knew that the head coach was a corner.
It wasn't Chris Hughton who decided to introduce Amate into the ball game. Then Amate, you know, he belongs to the Ketokreku or Secret, their camp. He's their boy. He's been one of their players since they memorial. But Tampas, he deserved to be in the team. Currently, form. Your form is not good. He was one of the troublemakers in the team. So the directive came from the top that Chris Hughton wouldn't watch put Amate inside. He was forced to do those substitutions.
I'm talking about the Andrea Ayew one.
He wants to break the record. The day will have to play. He was told that he's the most experienced player. The day will have to play. And you don't substitute yourself, Pencil. What should the boy do?
You sacrificed your best player.
How?
I mean, does that sound like
Milo did the same thing.
When they asked you about when the coach was asked about, he says the player looked fatigued. Hey, Hughton.
He was watching something.
This is just Hughton.
He did himself no favor.
This is just Hughton trying to tell you that he didn't know how to explain the situation.
He did himself no favors. But the environment...
The two assistant coaches, the least.
Imagine a head coach telling you that a player is he looked at a player and determined that the player was fatigued and that he needed to sit.
Joseph Pencil.
Why do we have halftime breaks then?
Joseph Pencil, fatigue from what we were watching. Did he look fatigued?
Chris, I said.
Did he look fatigued?
Chris, I said.
A national team of lies.
The Richard Ofori.
You reap results of lies. That's what you are reaping.
The Richard Ofori thing, but I remember I tweeted it that.
Yeah.
There were two things I tweeted that caught a lot of fire. One was the Richard Ofori one. The other one was when I said they were not passing the ball to Iñaki Williams.
All of a sudden, look, no more.
All of a sudden, somebody else shows up and players remember.
Let me know. Jordan has found electrifying pace and put it in crosses.
There is a player I know in this team. If we lose a game and he scores, he's at peace.
Yes, I also know that player. It's about him.
I also know that call.
It's about him.
If he scores,
if we lose
and we lose
the
and he
game,
scores, he's fine.
And you see, the painful thing is that the management members, the people close, they know those players. If you are a good leader, these are elements you don't entertain. These are atoms you don't entertain.
You clear them. Yourself in this country that any player who is above a certain age in this team is nothing but a politician and a troublemaker
in the team.
I'm not the one who said it.
Because he said
the former president of the FA.
Let me go through the messages. You saw the journalist who was crying in the stadium when the national anthem was being played.
Oh, no more.
I felt no
more.
His first AFCON.
No more.
Of all the players in the camp, the one I felt the saddest for was Mohamed Kudus.
Yes.
23.
He couldn't speak.
23. Look at what we've done. 23. We've scarred him.
This was his AFCON debut.
23 years old. We've put the national team on his head. And we are torturing him.
Even before he was 23. Don't you remember the Cameroon episode?
Yes.
I said the Cameroon episode is hilarious.
Olibo.
Today they say Kudus is coming. He's on the next flight. Tomorrow he's coming. Today Ajax is bringing him. He'll bring himself. Kudus. Even when he was 21 years old, we were banking our hopes on him because we have planned poorly.
Bralaye says it's so bad that even these days no one flies Ghana flags when the Black Stars are playing.
Yes, it's true. It's very true.
So their business performance has crippled the business of those who sell the flags. Nito from Tamanutan, we are not angry enough at leadership. Okay, it says Carl Anofi says I remember vividly. Coach was telling me Ghana will not go anywhere in this AFCON because the football system is in shambles. This was when you came for the roadshow at Community 8.
Yeah. I told you. I remember very
well. I said, I don't see any lights. Dennis from Dansoma said, I don't see any lights at the end of the Galamsey pit. Wasn't it the same president who took us to the AFCON World Cup and they just ended AFCON? It's better we don't qualify for the next World Cup.
Yes, we shouldn't.
Pepper into our wounds.
The embarrassment is too much.
This one is Zalix doing says, what are Mark Addo and Isankoma doing on the committee? This GFA is a mess. Says, however, I wish Klopp all the best. Okay, we show is wrapping up soon. We can't even talk about Klopp. Simple equations. Government should seek permission from FIFA and sack Ketokreku. Their use have served us well. We are grateful to them. So they can retire now. Raman from Kwabena says they should sack the whole GFA, sports minister and the players. Goes out to my WhatsApp group members, football fanatics. This one says, I'm surprised Mr. Ketokreku too was sacking someone. The Black Stars disgrace themselves, not Ghanaians. Okay. Moses Kofi Noy says, did Richard Ofori say that he was going to train hard against the 2026 World Cup?
No.
And says this guy is simply not serious.
No.
Just a quick note on other things. The biggest sports story today, Jurgen Klopp says he's leaving Liverpool.
Nobody saw that
at
coming,
the
isn't it?
end of the season.
Have you checked his temperature yet?
I have a couple of theories about this. I'll say this, right? Theory one, I think that Klopp might not leave, and that's based on how this season goes.
He's in denial.
He might. No, hold on. I'm saying I have a couple of theories that he might probably get a renewal. Theory two, he's doing this to motivate his players. If players know that this is Klopp's last season, this might be Salah's last season.
They might do everything.
They'll do everything to get him a title. That's my second theory. Theory three, he knows what is coming at Liverpool and it is not good.
So he's jumping ship.
He's done what, 9 years already?
Yeah, 9 years.
He's won a Champions League. He's won a Premier League.
FA
I'm not
Cup.
in denial because, look, I've been indifferent about Klopp for a while. No disrespect to him. I love him as a person, the work he's done for Liverpool. But I feel like there needs to be a renewal of some sorts at Liverpool. And I'm eyeing one guy,
Alonso?
Oh, hell yes. He needs to come to Liverpool. Carlo Ancelotti at the beginning of this season was supposed to be heading to Brazil.
But
What
he's
has happened
extended.
now?
He's not going.
extended. So these things, you can read a lot of meaning into it. You can also decide to wait it out and see how
The
it plays
difference is
out.
that Angelotti never came public to say.
Oh, no, but but we all knew about it. We reported about this.
But
Just
Jurgen
like,
Klopp has come and say,
well, coach,
no
you
way,
see,
I could just feel but the way I need more.
I would love Alonso though. I would love Alonso, but
let's-
if Klopp leaves, it's great. If he doesn't, life goes on.
All right, that's how we wrap it up. It's been an extended version of Sports Panorama. Today we wanted to get things off our chest.
Yeah.
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 Let's give a round of applause to Veronica Conley.
Come you.
I have become the newest addition.
We need to keep up this pressure because look,
We
Ghana
are building
football deserves better.
National under 23 will be playing all Africa games.
I understand that.
So he and she.
Have you seen the selection?
Oh no more.
I hear a particular team is in there. That team is bottom of their zone. I mean, Boamode, but they have like plenty players in there.
Imagine.
We'll get in there. Guys, thank you so much. Coach Christopher Nimdi, pleasure. Veronica Kome, thank you so much for joining us. It was an honor having you around.
Big pleasure.
You brought blessings to us. Benjamin Nketia, welcome back. Bienvenue. And Daniel Squashy supported us on Technical. Many thanks to you out there for listening. If you missed the episode, we'll share the link on Spotify. Get that, listen, spread it. Let the people know that we want to reset football in this country. My name is Nathan Kwao. We'll catch you next week. Have a super weekend and see you soon.